right, so once again, the 49ers put a spanking on the Seattle Seahawks this year. I think it's the third time this year they beat the Seattle Seahawks, and no one's surprised at what happened. Um, the question I think that we're all at, first of all, hats off to Kyle Shanahan. Man, like just his playbook is phenomenal. And I think that regardless of how exceptional the weapons that he has is, I think that playbook is solid. When you think about the four coaches that everyone thinks are the masterminds of coaching, the next era of coaching: Sean McVay, Cliff Kingsbury, Matt Flores, was this guy and Matt Flores, and what's the guy's name in Green Bay, and Kyle Shanahan. I think Kyle Shanahan's probably the better coach of them. Um, he just his playbook is just so complex. There's so many different ways he gets guys open. That one play where McCaffrey caught the slant, I think it was like I'm not sure what third and 10 or something like that. I'm not sure, and they did the pitch backside, the quick, and then the pitch backside, the hold the DN, and then they threw the slant to McCaffrey. Just him using players, understanding how they fit into this game is just amazing. So hats off to Kyle Shanahan, and then Brock Purdy. I don't think he's wildly exceptional. I think that he gets the job done. He's playing above average. Quarterback rating of 131, 3 tubs, 300 yards, only sacked once. So that I think that attributes to his escapability because the front four in Seattle was getting to Brock. But the DNA and what's the DNA? The recipe to win in the playoffs and late in the season is to run the ball. So whenever I look at the stat line, I see, okay, how many times did this team run the ball? And looks like from you see here, San Francisco ran the ball 33 times, passed the ball 30 times. So, and of course, some of those were quarterback runs, but they're still runs. What does that do for the defense? That puts the defense in a place where they can't predict. They have to stay honest and true to their assignments, to their gaps, to their reads, etc. And it opens up so much in the passing game. It opens so much in the running game when you can get a team on their heels. So yeah, Debo looks sharp. Brandon Ayuk looks sharp. Juan Jennings looks smart. Juan Jennings looks sharp. Kittle was there. Elijah Mitchell, McCaffrey. I mean, you're naming top players on that 49ers offense. I do think they're vulnerable on offense. I do think that later late in the playoffs they're gonna have to rely a little bit more on their passing game. I think it's gonna have to be a little bit more mature than what it is now. Um, what I mean by that is whether it's a 3-by-1, 2-by-2, they're in 21, 11, 12, whatever personnel that they're in, it's all the same way when they line up. So if it's 2-by-2, but I think that where defenses, when it comes to the maturity of defenses, they understand that a 1-by-3 set with McCaffrey as the X, you have to play him as a receiver. You can't play him as a running back. So those are the small things that that teams catch on to, later, in the playoffs. I think that they're gonna have to have a more of a mature passing game. We're gonna see less of McCaffrey at X. We'll see him more at an H or a Z, H or a Y position. Um, you know, rather than him lining up as that, where he was the short end, almost like a tight end split on that slant he caught. So I think that yeah, they're gonna have to have a more and more mature passing game when it comes to later on in the playoffs. But right now they're playing solid football. I do think their defense is still vulnerable to the run game. I think a team really hasn't been able to run the ball on them, and that doesn't mean that they haven't stopped the run. But I think it's mainly because the team has stopped the run, and I think teams have abandoned the run quickly. And just looking at the 49ers schedule, I'm looking at I'm looking at their schedule and their games, and I'm trying to see where they played a purely running quarterback. They played the Bears, who was Justin Fields, who's a running quarterback. They played Mariota, which was a running quarterback. Mahomes, which I wouldn't necessarily say is a running quarterback, but he has legs. You have to trust his run. The Cardinals, I'm not sure if they had so and so at the time. And then yeah, so of the teams they played a running quarterback, right? They played the Chicago Bears. They lost the first game of the season. They lost to Chicago. They lost to Chicago Bears, 19-10. Um, I'm trying to pull up the stat. I'm trying to pull up the stats in that game, but okay, it's not pulling up because I guess the internet just wants to act slow. And let me pull up the Chiefs game and let me pull up the Cardinals game. Yeah, so in that let's go back. So in that Falcons game where they played a running quarterback, they lost 28-14. This is with Grop. They had Debo. They didn't have McCaffrey at the time. They had Jeff Wilson, but they had their Jeff. They had Debo. They had Ayuk, and the Falcons ran the ball 40 times for 168. Mariota had 50 on the ground. He was 13 for 14, 129, and two touchdowns. The quarterback rating of 144. They weren't able to run the ball. They had 16 carries for 50 yards on the 49ers side. So once again, a running quarterback, beating them. Now when they play the Bears, once again, 18 for 17. This only had Trey Lance as the quarterback. Began of the season, first game of the season, 18 for 17. Justin Fields was 18 for 17. He had 121 yards, two touchdowns, one interception, 85 quarterback rating, but they ran the ball 37 times. Justin Fields was 11 for 28. Now, San Francisco ran the ball very, very well. They ran the ball 37 for 176, right? Only one interception on Trey Lance's part. They had all their fellas as well too, Debo, Trey, etc. But the running game was where the defense was vulnerable. Then I'm going to look at this Chiefs game. This is when Brock Purdy came in, and of course they had Debo, they had everyone there. Um, they just got the Chiefs just bully them. There's no correlation to the running game that San Francisco has had. But they haven't really truly played a running quarterback, and all the running quarterbacks they played against, they lost, Mariota and Fields. I think that's going to be a factor in when the quarterback who has legs, when the pocket breaks down to make plays, that they're going to struggle with. And I think they have to figure out a way to do that because I don't think they're exceptional in pass coverage, and I think I think Warner's a solid linebacker, middle linebacker, but I think that they're vulnerable in pass coverage. I think that they're going to have to switch things up when they play a team who can run the ball. So that's my take on the Seattle game, Seattle game. Now I will talk about Seattle. I will discuss Seattle in another video.